Hey everybody, welcome back to Northern Lion Plays The Binding of Isaac Rebirth. It's surreal to me, but we are going for a 45 streak. Halfway from 40 to 50, 1C HF YYYP, which is my favorite sequel to my second favorite Rush song. This can't possibly be a worse omen. First room, Curse of the Lost, freaking envy, yo. But actually, we could turn this around really nicely. If we manage to, well, it's not like it's up to us, it's not like we have a say in the matter, but if we beat Envy and get the shoop-to-boop, we can re-roll it into just a conservative guess, Epic Fetus, and then win the game in 14 minutes. Maybe a little bit of a tall ask, just a little bit, but hey man, when the game gives you, like, almost literally the second worst room it can give you right out the bat. You know, the worst room would just be Super Envy. Slightly more HP. We might as well enjoy it while it lasts, you know. And actually, the Troll Bomb payout is not good, but could be worse. So before we go into the Cursed Room here, I have modified my playing style, at least ever so slightly, to be a little bit more caution-focused. So I'm thinking we don't go to the Cursed Room right out the bat. Why? Well, losing 1 HP on a 3 HP run is not a big deal most of the time. But it could be if we lose 1 HP, and then maybe we get hit on this room when we shouldn't get hit, and then we get hit twice on the next room when we shouldn't get hit, all of a sudden we're on a half heart, maybe going up against a pin or haunt fight. So it's just about hedging my bets right now. We'll definitely blow that up. I much prefer this, actually. The 10 bombs is nice. You know, you like that consumable kind of buff early. But the extra damage via this attack fly is fantastic. It's very, very close to our chest here, so it's you know, not something we're gonna be able to use at range, and it's probably gonna get us hurt occasionally, and that might be an example of it right there. But the fact that we have it and can use this against, you know, enemies where it's at least viable to use it is a really good sign. So I want to see if maybe there's a Spirit Heart for sale in here. There is not. That's been happening an awful lot lately. Well, we'll just continue on our merry way then. The goal is still to go to the Cursed Room, of course. If we get enough money, and that's why I'm shooting these, I would love to get Black Candle. Black Candle is just, I mean, it's a curse protection, but it's also a very, very expensive way to get an early Spirit Heart. Now, a very expensive way is not necessarily that bad, is it? Let's shoot all this. I think this is probably our cue to go to the Cursed Room. But I'd rather go to the Cursed Room with a reroll ready. But we might not be able to get a reroll except from the shop. And it's a little cost prohibitive, right now at least. Trying to find the secret room while also picking up these bombs. I hope that gets them pot. All right, well, I'm an idiot. Well, now we can blow up 2 pots instead. Maybe the one in the top right has the corner or the quarter in it. Well, at least we can pick up a little extra money from Swallowed Penny by going into the Curse Room, which we are going to do. It's tough, man. Like, I want to blow up those pots, but I really also don't want to blow up those pots. Have you considered both sides of the discussion here? Give me a stone chest, and then I'll push it next to 3 pots and blow it up. There's our ideal situation. Alright, nothing. We gotta watch out for that bad boy right there. It's good. That's fine. That's fine. This is potentially extremely dangerous. It's not that bad. It's not good, but it's not that bad. Okay. So we haven't had an incredible feat of luck yet. Could that be our secret room? I hate Curse of the Lost, man. If our secret room gives us enough money, we can buy Black Candle. I would love to. So we have 2 bombs. We'd have to get 4 and 5 cents, or, you know, somewhere in that range at least to get out of this one. Out of our donation machine, that is. Semi-realistic, honestly. Let's try the first one. This will set the tone. We got spiders instead of money. But now we only need 4 cents out of the next one. So let's go fight the boss, and then we'll see. I'd like to take a crack at it, honestly. Having Black Candle, it's worth the risk. And if we fail, we'll at least have a chance to get an arcade on the next floor because we have so much money anyway. So, or actually, one thing we could do as well is buy a charge and reroll whatever comes out from the Widow here, but let's just assume that we like what we're going to get from the Widow to begin with. And that's the benefit of Attack Fly right there. Even the one that has to be so close to us. Very easy fight against the Widow, champion or not. We get Placenta, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with this. Except for the way it makes us look, but let's ignore that. Let's try it. Come on, work with me, baby. I stood there purposely to give myself an extra cent payout. And buy a swallowed penny. It was a game time decision. As I was doing it, I was like, is this really what I want? Sure. I think it was worth it. We're getting back to full HP anyway. We'd already spent the bomb. It seems like that probably... It didn't actually save us there, but it could have. If we'd been 1 cent shy, that would have made me feel amazing that that actually worked out. Alright. Well, very busy floor thus far, as you can see. We're on the basement, so we stand a very good chance to be able to get a deal with the devil with this protection that we have going on, for sure. Very nice of that key to not even spawn in the middle of that poop there. That was very courteous of you is what it was. I'm gonna get hit here, or at least I stood a good chance to. Panicked a little bit, tried to, you know, get my brain to work out all the attack fly shenanigans. It's probably strictly not necessary, but this is good. Good HP. You know, not having any curses for the rest of the game solves a lot of those, you know, potential cases where our life just sucks. Curse of the Blind Soy Milk, for example. We can still always get rerolls and stuff like that, like reroll rooms, but for now, you know, all we can really do is control what's within our control, and that seems like it's working out fantastically for us thus far. So ideally, we'll kill all the enemies that spawn, and then it comes down to attack fly with the occasional tear strewn about within. This should be a super, super easy boss fight. It often or always is, and then just give me a, I've been begging for it for like 7 runs. Just a traditional mom's knife, we're gonna take a little brimstone, which is also great, but like a traditional mom's knife brimstone run. Little brimstone's not bad. It's a special item, so, you know, if we like it, we might as well take it, because it lowers our chances of getting other special items in the future. Doesn't bother me any. We'll not find a natural arcade on this floor anyway. This is good, it's good. Hopefully we get a curse room. I mean, what's our ideal situation here? Let's get a little greedy. Curse room, Guppy's head, use it, reroll it into like 9 lives. That's our ideal situation. Sister Maggie is not rerollable. It's very close. Couple of different things working out in Sister Maggie's favor. 1, now it won't show up on Deals with the Devil. 2, it's alright. That's basically it. 3, you know, there's a lot of shitty items in the game that we could possibly reroll it into instead. Just give me 1 cent. I mean, we'll get 1 cent from Swallowed Penny when we go into the curse room. Why do I want 1 cent? So we can buy a bomb, and then there's a tinted rock, and I think it's worth the 5 cent asking price to get our Spirit Heart back, or maybe get a small rock instead. This run is still fine. We haven't really blown the doors off or anything like that yet, but we've got some really, really solid familiars, a really good opportunity for, like, BFF. Obviously, I'm an idiot, because we can't buy a bomb in here, but instead, we bought a Spirit Heart directly, which I would have preferred the bomb, to be totally 100% honest with you. And the reason I would have preferred the bomb is because maybe we get a golden chest, and then we get an item, or an item that we'd like to re-roll, or we get small rock, or we get 2 Spirit Hearts. But, you know, this is a compromise. It's a compromise that is not terrible. And again, we are far too slow to really have high hopes of making it to boss rush here, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Full health is a nice pill to know that it exists, at least. And a free Spirit Heart. Well, a Spirit Heart we're not going to have to hopefully pay much for in the form of this room is really nice as well. And I really like picking up Little Brimstone as our first, like, following familiar. It makes it so much easier to aim than when you pick it up late in the familiar line. And honestly, that is, like, enough for me to possibly reroll Little Brimstone if it showed up later. As much as I love it, and I don't think I've ever done this, but the theory is there. As much as I love Little Brimstone, there's, like, a huge chance that it's just not even worth the asking price later. Tears down, or tears up, explosive. Ah! I can't believe I got out basically in time. Let's go check this out, and it ended up being worth it. Tears upgrade, health downgrade. It's not an ideal trade, but what's nice about it is that it's not necessarily permanent. You know, if we get another health downgrade, we'll actually have it identified, so we should be able to do something about it in the future. We can, you know, maybe take it after a deal with the devil is the obvious example. One of the most insidious things that's happened on this run is actually that early luck downgrade, which is probably going to lead to less consumables, and less consumables leads to, you know, less opportunities to get more items and more consumables. You know, it's a negative, positive feedback loop. It's a positive feedback loop, which I feel very poorly about. Got the 4 cents here. No deal with the devil, but a tiers upgrade that I definitely do not think is worth re-rolling. It's a bit of a touchy run right now. Much like a 3-legged race, we're having a bit of a touchy run. What's wrong with it? Low HP, not incredible damage. What's right with it? Little Brimstone is a huge insulator for like any kind of DPS downgrades. You know, the problem with Little Brimstone? A little expensive, but I still think it's worth it. And on top of that, it doesn't scale with our damage. What's great about Little Brimstone? It doesn't scale with our damage. It's a double-edged sword. The more damage we lose, like if we pick up a soy milk or something like that, Little Brimstone is still going to do the same amount. Not that we would probably want to pick up soy milk, considering we had it on like 2 very recent runs. And we don't have any curses to goad us into it here. Keybagger is actually kind of interesting here, but I don't think we have enough keys to... Like, keys are our richest consumable right now, but we don't have enough to be like, okay, let's start throwing them away for conceivably, potentially no reason, or very little reason at least. So, no deal with the devil on this floor, probably. Means we're gonna really hold out hope on the next floor, and we should have a decent chance. Especially if we can get an arcade, you know, maybe get a judgment and blow it up. Book of Revelations is a totally fine pickup. You know, we get a Spirit Art. And then I will take Epic Fetus, okay? Sue me. If you're going to get bent out of shape about this Epic Fetus pickup, I want to remind you how many bullshit runs we've had lately. And I'd also like to remind you of the fact that if a reroll room shows up, I'm still going to go for it, man. But for now, I'm extremely happy to have Epic Fetus. I'm very sorry to our Little Brimstone, which is now going to be not really as useful as it used to be. You're going to give me 2 tiers downgrades? You kidding me? We'll take the health down with us, because we can actually probably use that eventually. Oh, what do you think about this one? What's the story, Wishbone? Full health? Health up, there we go. Luck up, there we go. And full health, and then we'll take the health downgrade just in case we get a deal with the devil. Also, I can't ignore the gods of randomness. Or the troll gods of randomness. Pseudo-randomness, that makes way more sense. Whom, when I said, well, we'll get Epic Fetus from the Envy payout, we're like, you know what? That sounds interesting. Let's do it. Second secret room is right over there. I don't think... You know what? I'd like to blow you up, though, to maybe get enough money to get an arcade on the next floor. I hate to do that. We haven't been kind to our donation machine lately. That's okay, though. So this is looking like a fairly solid chance of a win. It's not inconceivable to lose on an Epic Fetus run, but it rarely happens. That helps out a ton as well. What are we looking for now? Basically speed, survivability, and the ability to fly. All those kind of tie into one another, and this... It's certainly not going to be a 14-minute run, as prophesized, but we should have a good chance at finishing this run. I'm not going to worry about finishing it quickly. I'm not going to worry about boss rush. I'm not going to worry about speed runs. I'm going to worry about, you know, getting a solid win here and feeling good about it when the chips call. That doesn't really make any sense, but you get the idea. When the chips call where they may. Let's see what this is. We might, like, at this point, it's getting somewhat unlikely we'll be able to use the health downgrade, but it does beat the Fool card, I think. Rosary Bead probably, at this point, beats Swallowed Penny as well. Other things we would want, mapping. If our HP ends up being a consistent problem on this run, you would like mapping, so that we can, you know, go to as few rooms as possible once the game gets serious. And anything to augment our spacebar item, which... at present and for the conceivable future is going to be the D6. Is that another health up? It is another health up. Yeah, we'll continue taking it. And we did find a small rock, and also, of course, we found mini mush there. I will take this. We are now faster, which is important to me. Our damage, I don't think it really matters whether it changes or not. I don't... Actually, now that I think about it, I think we did gain an HP there. Well, easy come, easy go. I guess is the way I'd describe that. And I gotta say, you know, this run's making me feel pretty good. We've had and it's not that the zaniness is over on it yet, because we could just very easily get a reroll room, and I would probably take it, but we've had so many ridiculous zany, you know, missing no, reroll the whole run, D100 runs lately, that, you know, Curse of the Blind, soy milk kind of stuff, that I'm extremely happy. Really? I'm extremely happy to be able to just have, like, this is the kind of, you know, you've had a crazy week, you've been partying with your friends, then you get home and you're like, you know what, I just want to watch some Netflix tonight. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You can't party all the time, Eddie Murphy. Maybe that's why people made fun of that song, despite having a fairly catchy hook, you know, very evocative of the era in which it was produced. They were like, Eddie Murphy, maybe you're right to complain, because a girl who likes to party all the time just sounds exhausting. We would it should be more like, you know, my girl wants to party sometimes, mostly sit down and watch the Food Network. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. And that was him in the song. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sometimes I don't party all the time, just wanna watch the History, not the History Channel, but you know, the theoretical History Channel, if it showed stuff about actual history. This is still him talking in the song, this is not my notes. So we got, obviously, money out of this situation. We're gonna re-roll IV Bag. We don't really gain too much out of having IV Bag, except for the obvious financial benefit, but let's re-roll it here. And okay, fine, fuck yourself. We're gonna re-roll until we get a run we like. This seems really good, actually. Probably not gonna take that. And if this seems really good, why don't we take the D6 with us from this point onwards? What do we have? I don't know. We got, like, Mom's Eye, decent rate of fire. Looks like Cricket's Body. BBF, obviously. Charm Tears. This is why I was like... oh, well, not a very smart decision on my part. This is why I was like, you know... I'm not really going to say that this run is sorted for us yet, because I'm just going to re-roll it if we get the opportunity. And, of course... little did I know that actually getting the payout from the IV bag would be that opportunity. Or from the blood bag, or from the blood bank, I should say. But actually, our damage is really good here. I always forget, like, what item makes our tears white? It's not Cursed Eye, obviously, because we're not doing the Cursed Eye thing. Starter deck is worth it. Goodbye, health down. You've become Justice instead, and then become Justice again. Nothing wrong with this. I knew that pill, but I guess it's not really that relevant if it's like a health upgrade or a health downgrade at this point. So we won't have blue map anymore either, but we still have the mapping for now. And I don't know, are we going to qualify for a deal with the devil here? What a wonderful question that I don't know the answer to whatsoever. Emperor, Sun, Hermit, Judgment. Judgment, you get played, brother. Got a real cool looking face right now. Obviously, we have the cancer payout as well. We got 4 more cards showing up. Okay, what are these ones? Lovers, we can use that. Tower is shitty. Sun, is that 2 sun cards now? It's 2 sun cards. I'm gonna use 1. Do we want Emperor Joker? Yeah, I mean, Emperor Sun is really good as well. Emperor Joker is a little bit more like early game focused on balling out of control, so I can respect this. Take the screw. And I'm happy that, you know, well, if we get Krampus' head, I won't be super happy, but I'm happy that if we get Lump of Coal, which we did, we aren't going to have to use a reroll here, which we don't have anyway. So, this is fine, man. I mean, our run is not as traditionally good as it was when we had Epic Fetus. However, it's funnier, and I think there's something to be said for that. We got, like, rubber cement good tiers. Like, what more could you ask for? Some kind of wonderful right now. We got Mystery Sack, which paid out there. No Guppy Dreams. Guppy is not an integral part of my plans anymore, apparently. It rarely shows up. But I know that Guppy comes in fits and spurts. You know, randomness tends to be clumped. I say that randomness tends to be clumped because people have told me that randomness tends to be clumped. If you ask me to explain it, I would say, well, the Nutty Professor to the Clumps is a 2002 film starring mostly Eddie Murphy, but also Janet Jackson in a crossover success for her that, you know, also led to her hit song, Doesn't Really Matter. You know, doesn't really matter what I left for you, I can't believe it, what I put it boo. Doesn't really matter. The song is basically, she likes the guy who's a little bit heavy. You know, here's the Nobel Peace Prize. Very happy for you, Janet Jackson. You're a good person, you know. You can look over, you know, look over physical attributes for the things that maybe are a little bit, they matter more to you. Even though the song's called doesn't really matter. You get the idea. We could use the Emperor card as a way to get out of boss rush, which I don't think is a bad choice. Oh, yes! I don't think it's a bad choice. In fact, I think it's the right choice if we can do it. But I don't know. How does the Emperor card work for getting out of boss rush on an XL, Necropolis XL? Does it take you to the first boss floor? Or the first boss fight? You know what I mean. I'm assuming that it actually is over here, and we might be able to get to it in time. We've been to one item room, obviously, because we got the old Death's Touch out of it. You got the touch. You got the power. That's the best. I don't know. I hesitate, or I'm unaware of how much smokiness to put in the voice, but it got the job done. Red hearts we can't use. Dark Bomb is a huge pickup for us. I'm loving this shit right here. LIMP Biscuit is right here. There's people in the house throw your hands in the air because you don't care, or we don't care. I think it's worth the chance to get boss rush here. And if we don't find the ability to get to the item room, well, instead of getting the item room, we had our choice of 4 items. So I think it still dildos? No, it still does work out for us. I think. And we will have a reroll ready for it as well. Easy, easy, easy. No deal with the devil, which is blowing my mind here, but that's okay. We'll take the miter. Just a nice little casual item. So we didn't get to leave, but we learned something in the process there. Actually, we can use the Joker card. You know, I don't want Mom's Knife on this run. I'll take the Pentagram, though. I don't want Mom's Knife because we already have this sweet Death's Touch synergy that I don't want to, you know, give away. We could have done boss rush as well, but let's just assume that our item room gave us the miter room. That's fine by me. Alright, Curse of the Blind, relatively meaningless. It's looking like probably top left, if I had to guess. So our damage is going to be fantastic. You know what would be awesome? I want to check... Oh, we don't have any bombs. I was going to see if we had sad bombs. If we don't have sad bombs, you know what would be awesome? Turkey sandwich. I thought I was going to say sad bombs, you dirty dog. That's why you never assume you make an ass out of both of us. I can't see what's happening on the map right now, so I'm just assuming that it's all working out. We should go back for that bomb, but I want to make sure that we have dissipated the creep first. Oh, where did that come from? I didn't even see that payout happen. And this should be a deal with the devil with a very well-timed reroll available as well. Life is good. Might as well take it. What's the worst that a boss room could do for us, right? Ghost Baby. Well, that's exceptionally bad. But we basically got Ghost Baby for fighting the boss. Is that a terrible haul? If we'd gotten Ghost Baby, let's assume that we wouldn't have been shocked about it being in the pool at first. We'd be like, we fought the boss, we got Ghost Baby. I think that's okay. We'd be like, it's weird, but it's fine. Oh, great stars card. Okay. Do we have like a pin that shows up here? I don't think so. There would be a health meter. This is a tough one. Lots of opportunities for the boss. I'm gonna say it's directly below us, but I say this knowing full well that there's like at least 3 different locations where the boss room could likely be. Down, up, and right. It's obviously not left. It's a very unfortunate layout for us, but hard to complain. We will go to the curse room. And it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out real well, actually. Broke a little bit more than even. We turned a small Demon Heart profit, also picked up an Eternal Heart, and also got a damage upgrade in the process. So that one ended up being very much worth it. And, you know, as this goes on, it's becoming very, very clear that this run is borderline unlosable. Not quite, you know, near literally unlosable, but it's becoming unfathomable that we lose. So I would probably get ready to chalk this one up in the win column, and it's getting surreal at this point. 45 wins, you know, if we can get to 50... That is, I consider that like a really, really major accomplishment, considering where I started in Isaac in general. Or not even where I started, but where I was after like 2 years of Isaac in general. So, especially with some inherent randomness, this is awesome. I'm getting excited, but we're not at 50 yet. I think far left, probably. I'm happy with 45. Shit, dude, I'm happy with, like, 10. But, you know, we've been given a golden opportunity here to push this as far as it can go. And I would be remiss if, you know, let me put it this way. If we're gonna lose the streak, I'm gonna try, or at least hope to make the game earn it. You know, I'm gonna try to make it force me into a shit run. It's a difficult situation here, because blank card is fantastic if we have some runes along with it, but we don't yet, but we could get them because we have starter deck, but then didn't we? No, we didn't reroll starter deck. We got it on this run, so it's a tough decision, but I think we stick with the D6 and just use it on the chest as you normally would. And we're about to fight Isaac, and this is going totally fine thus far. It's a little difficult to see what the heck is going on, but that accepted, this run is turning out fantastically right now, and, you know, the full run rerolls continue to work. I'll admit it's not that much of a risk, like what we did with Epic Fetus, and then rerolling it with the D4 isn't that much of a risk, because with the D4 it's not like a reroll room. If you get a shit reroll, you can always just, you know, get a charge eventually and reroll it again as many times as is necessary, but it's still a risk, because we had a run that was almost certainly won. So I'll take the top two. The bottom two are actually okay, and I've grown to like Nod Leaf a little bit more. Still not one of my favorite items, but I've grown to like it a little bit more. But neither of them are useful enough right now to justify not rerolling them, especially not knowing whether or not we're going to get other reroll pedestals. I'll take Ball of Tar for not only the creep, but also the slow. It's not a huge win for us, but it's something. And basically, you know, the shot size in Rubber Cement is so high right now that we can pretty much shoot wherever we want, and we're relatively confident that it's going to end up touching an enemy somewhere on the level. Pretty much if I just fire directly at the wall, we have no issues. Hagalah's rune is like the rune that I feel good about leaving the blank card behind for. It sends almost made no sense, but hopefully you got the communicable kind of core of the message. Basically, blank card Hagalahs on the chest is awful. Blank card Hagalahs in general is pretty bad, because if you just got notched axe, not that you ever had to have that exact choice, but if you just got notched axe, you know, you're like, well, the notched axe is actually potentially better. Although you can crush mushrooms without getting hit with this. The charge time's a little bit longer. But on the chest, where there's just like literally no rocks, doesn't matter at all. Although I will say, you know, if we get some red poops, this will take advantage of them pretty quickly. We got to be very nearly done here. And again, we're like a 28, 30-minute run here, roughly, so I'm feeling very, very good about this one. Of course, the random run comes next, and you never know when the gods of random are going to frown upon us and give us the lost. But if this is the end, if 45 is the end, well, it's been a fun ride. And I eagerly await the next opportunity in 6 months when we get the chance to beat it. Anyway, easy run for a number of different reasons there. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't believe we're up to 45. If you did enjoy it, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.